Welcome again to students of Baverstock in the city. Before we look at this video, I would like to remind you that you can pause or rewind the video whenever you want to. Also, everything that is in this video is in your workbook. If you haven't got a workbook, then please ask your teacher for one. In this video, we will look at Remembrance Day, or as it is sometimes known, Poppy Day, or Armistice Day. Remembrance Day is held on the 11th of November in Britain and Commonwealth countries. I will tell you all about the Commonwealth in another video. It is a day when we remember the British and Commonwealth soldiers, the sailors, and the airmen and women who died in World War I and later wars. So why is Remembrance Day or Armistice Day on the 11th of November? Well, a formal agreement to stop fighting in Western Europe, called an armistice, was signed just after 5 a.m, that's 5 o'clock in the morning, on the 11th of November 1918 by Germany and the Allies. And here's a picture of the signing taking place. The Allies were the countries who were fighting against Germany in the war. It was agreed that the fighting in Western Europe would formally end at 11 a.m, 11 o'clock in the morning, on that day, the 11th of November. That is why we have 2 minutes of silence when no one speaks at all to remember the people who have died fighting in wars at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November. November is the 11th month of the year, so our 2 minutes silence is held at the 11th hour, 11 o'clock, of the 11th day of the 11th month each year. The very first Remembrance Day, or Armistice Day, was held in the grounds of Buckingham Palace, where the Queen lives when she's at home in London, on the morning of the 11th of November 1919, 1 year after the signing of the armistice. Why is this special day also known as Poppy Day? Well, in World War I, which began in 1914 and ended in 1918, some of the worst fighting took place in the fields of a place called Flanders in Belgium. If we look on this map here, we will see that Belgium is this little country just here, just there, sandwiched between France, this one, and the Netherlands or Holland, this one, and Germany here. On this map here, we can see where Flanders Fields is in Belgium. It's here, marked in green. Houses and fields were turned into a battlefield in 1914. Where there were once homes and farms, now there was a sea of mud, a grave for the dead, but where men still lived and fought. Only one other living thing survived, the poppy. Every year, when the weather became warm, the poppies grew and flowered. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Dr. John McCrae. Dr. John McCrae was born in 1872 and died in 1918. Dr. John McCrae was a Canadian doctor, there's a picture of him here, look, who was serving with the Canadian Armed Forces in Flanders, Belgium. When his friend was killed in the fighting, Dr. John McCrae wrote his famous poem, In Flanders Fields. We'll listen to this poem now.
In Flanders Fields the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved. And now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
So why do we wear a poppy on Poppy Day? When Moina Michael, an American woman, read Dr. John McCrae's poem, she wrote a poem called We Shall Keep the Faith, in which she promised to wear a poppy in honour of our dead. And this began the tradition of wearing a poppy to remember those who had died fighting in wars. Tabinda Kausa Ishak is a British Muslim student at the London College of Fashion, and she has designed a headscarf, a hijab, that's decorated with poppies. And she's done this because more than 1 million Indian soldiers and 400,000 Muslims fought alongside British troops in 1914. And many Muslims mark Remembrance Day. That's the end of this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it and that you have learnt something that you did not know before. Look out for the next video, it will be with us very soon. Bye bye.